It's not every day you wake up to headlines saying Poland shoots down Russian drones and NATO first, but that's exactly what happened on the night of September 9th, 2025. And honestly, this is a huge turning point in the Russia-Ukraine war, and for NATO as a whole. Let me break down exactly what went down, why it matters, and what comes next. So here's the deal. Overnight, the Polish military detected 19 drones entering its airspace. 19. Most of them came straight from Belarus, and the first one crossed the border just before 1 a.m. For hours, Polish air defense scrambled, and by the end of it, they'd shot down at least 3 or 4 drones. They even called in help. Dutch F-35S, Italian AWACS surveillance planes, and Polish F-16S all joined the operation. By sunrise, Poland's skies were secure again, but the message was clear. The war had just gotten a lot closer to home for NATO. Now this wasn't just some random mistake. Polish leaders called it an unprecedented violation. NATO's chief called it an intentional incursion.
The North Atlantic Council met this morning and discussed the situation in light of Poland's request for consultations under Article 4 of the Washington Treaty. Allies expressed solidarity with Poland and denounced Russia's reckless behavior.
The European Union and the US, they're calling it the most serious breach of European airspace by Russia since the war began.
We have all seen what Russia means by diplomacy. Putin refuses to meet President Zelensky. Last week, Russia launched the largest number of drones and ballistic missiles in a single attack. Yesterday, there was a missile attack on a village in Donetsk, targeting people waiting to pick up their pensions. More than 20 were killed. And just today we have seen a reckless and unprecedented violation of Poland and Europe's airspace by more than 10 Russian Shahid drones. Europe stands in full solidarity with Poland.
Debris from these drones was found all over Poland, in villages, near cemeteries, even hitting a residential building. No one was hurt, but the damage was real, and people are understandably shaken. So, what's the big deal? Well, this is the first time a NATO country has fired shots in direct response to Russia's war in Ukraine. Poland even triggered NATO Article 4, which kicks off emergency talks when a member feels threatened. Leaders from France, the UK, the Czech Republic, Finland, they all condemned the attack, calling it unacceptable, egregious, and a serious warning sign.
And as the Prime Minister Starmer said this morning, these moves, he said, only serve to remind us of President Putin's blatant disregard for peace. So together, we, the E5, totally condemn these attacks. Russia's actions are reckless, they're dangerous, they're unprecedented. We see what Putin is doing. Yet again, he is testing us. Yet again, we will stand firm. And Defence Minister Kosiniak-Kamysz rightly returned home to Poland in the very early hours of this morning to deal with this unprecedented situation. And we pay tribute to the Polish and NATO personnel involved in such a rapid and effective defensive action.
Russian officials, for their part, say there's no proof the drones were theirs. Belarus claims the drones lost their way because of jammed navigation systems. And of course, Russian state TV is floating conspiracy theories about a false flag. But the evidence points to one thing. Russia is testing the resolve of NATO, and by extension the West. Beyond the politics, this had real-world consequences. Warsaw's main airport was basically shut down for hours. Flights were canceled, diverted, or delayed. People on the ground were left wondering if this was the start of something even bigger. Ukrainian President Zelensky says as many as 24 Russian drones may have entered Polish airspace, part of a wave of over 400 drones and 42 cruise missiles fired at Ukraine that night. He's calling it an extremely dangerous precedent for Europe. So, what does all this mean? We're closer to open conflict between NATO and Russia than at any point since World War II. The next few days and weeks are critical. If Poland's response signals anything, it's that NATO won't just sit back and watch. The world is watching and holding its breath. Drop your thought in the comment below and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe for more updates. Stay tuned.